Alright, I wanted to share some interesting old books that I got in a clean out. And I wanted to show you them because there's a lot of interesting stuff in these books. This is the 70 Years of Radio Tubes and Valves, the first DeForest triode on the front. There's a whole lot of different tubes shown in this book. Some of them are pretty cool. A lot of the early ones were brass base tubes. You don't see those much anymore. And these round ones were like the very first ones that came out. They were like DeForest, they called them. Yeah, right here. First commercial DeForest Audion. The Audion tube, that was the first one that came out. So the way a tube works is a process called thermionic emission. And by putting a high voltage on the plate of the tube, and then having a heater element, the electrons, when heated, will fly off the cathode or the anode, and they'll be drawn to the plate. This little part on top here is a high voltage point. It's called the plate cap. And what they would do is they would insert a grid and a control grid in between, and that's how they would control the emission of the tube, was with a grid and a control grid, and it would act like an amplifier. So it was pretty interesting. Super Control Screen Grid RF Amplifier. A power amplifier pentode. Alright, that's that one. Electrical and Radio Troubleshooting Manual. This one's got a lot of neat pictures in it, though. It's just there's a lot of neat stuff in here. Central Energy Type Telephone. This is a real neat old book. A lot of neat pictures in this one. Why split-phase motors are used. A split-phase motor is a single-phase motor that obtains its starting torque from two stator windings of different impedance values, which in effect convert single-phase current to an equivalent two-phase current. So essentially a split-phase motor is just a regular modern induction motor, I believe. But they used to have repulsion start induction run motors, which were pretty cool. I've got a couple of those kicking around. And those had a commutator on the end with brushes, and then once it would start on a repulsion with the brushes and the commutator, and then once it was up to speed, it would switch over and it would be an induction motor, and the commutator was not used once it was running. There's a lot of real interesting stuff in this one. DC switchboard. The old square D. Winding coils. Yep. Okay. And this one, Nikola Tesla, 1856 to 1943. This is the gold here, man. It's all his designs and stuff. Secret documents. Yeah, a lot of good information in this one. So those are a couple interesting books that I picked up. Thanks for watching.